Okay, so I chose the quadratic function f of x equals 0.4 to the x power minus 1. So this is what the graph is going to end up looking like. So looking at the graph, you can see that the domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. The range is -1 to positive infinity. And the x and y intercepts are at 0, 0. This stuff you can just see by looking at the graph. And the way to solving it is if, like, once you get a function, which is this function, you plug in values of x, and you're going to get a value of y, and then you can just plot those on the graph. And you'll have to plot about 5 of them. You should do the values of -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, because those are the values that are closest to 0, and if you plot values that are the higher, then chances are your y values are going to go off the graph. So if we plot in -2, we're going to get 5.25. So if you go to -2 and you go up, it's about 5.25 at -2. And you can just, like, for example, if you just plug in -2 for the x value, -2 or 0.4 to negative second power is just 1 over 0.4 squared, which is 1 over 0.16, and 1 divided by 0.16 is 6.25, and then 6.25 minus 1 is going to be 5.25. So that's just how you do it for all of the x values. And if you plug in -1, you're going to get 1.5. So -1, -1, 1.5 is right there. And then 0, you plug in 0, it's going to be 0, because something to the 0th power is just 1, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. And then you can tell right off the bat whether it's exponential growth or exponential decay, depending on if the term that's being raised to the x power, the a term right here that's being raised to the x power, if it's a fraction or a decimal that's between 0 and 1, then it will be exponential decay. But if it's any other number, it's going to be exponential growth, even if it's negative. Okay, and you plug in 1. If you plug in 1 right here, it's going to go down to 0.6, negative 0.6 for the y value. It's about what it is. And then if you plug in 2, it's going to be negative 0.84. And as you can tell, the horizontal asymptote is about -1, because that's where the line kind of flattens out. Okay, so that's basically how to solve it. You just have to plug in values. Or how to solve this one, you plug in the x values, and then you're going to come with an f of x equals your y value, and then you just plot it. And then once you plot it, you can kind of find out the aspects, like the x and y intercepts, and the domain, and the range, and the vertical and horizontal asymptote.